Yeah, hey. Welcome to the big show. Thursday, another week in the books, folks. 833-599-NICK. 833-599-6425 is the phone number. Thank you to our buddy Mike Rossi in Rhode Island. He knows I have an insulin problem, so he sent me this beautiful box of syringes. I didn't know what the fuck it was when I opened it, but what is it? It's a Sharpie. Not a Sharpie, a highlighter. Apparently I'm using old highlighters. Look at that. It's got the Nick Dip logo on it. Mike Rossi, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate that. Want to do this after I read about the Green New Deal. I wanted to tie off and get a nice buzz. Hey, quickly, dates. You can get these at nickdip.com, but this weekend, that'll be tomorrow and Saturday, I'll be at the Black Box, Boca Raton, Florida. And then Friday, February 22nd, Central Stage in Yonkers, New York. Saturday, February 23rd, the big taping at Cohoes Hall, Cohoes, New York. Saturday, March 2nd, the Brook Arts Center, Bound Brook, New Jersey. Friday, March 8th, Wood Theater, Glens Falls, New York. Friday, the 29th of March, Decatur Civic Center, Decatur, Illinois. Friday, April 26th, Steel Stacks, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Friday and Saturday, May 3rd and 4th, Side Splitters in Tampa. Friday and Saturday, May 10th and 11th, Governors in Levittown, Long Island. And then Friday, May 31st, Jonathan's at Gunquit, Maine. Saturday, June 1, Whites of Westport, Mass. Saturday, August 10th, Newtown Theater, Newtown, Pennsylvania. Friday and Saturday, August 16th, 17th, Helium in Philadelphia. Saturday, October 19th, Ridgefield Playhouse, Ridgefield, Connecticut. Friday, November 15th, Cortland Repertory Theater, Cortland, New York. And then New Year's Eve back at Tarrytown Music Hall in Tarrytown, New York. Again, nickdip.com for your ticket information. And sad news in the sports world. Frank Robinson, you guys might be a little young for him. I'm not. Passed away today. You talk about a fearsome hitter. This guy died at age 83 out in California. Give you an idea. This guy's still 10th on the home run list. This is before steroids. He's been retired for over 40 years, and he's still 10th on the list. First black manager in the history of the MLB, and made the All-Star team 14 times. First guy to be MVP in both leagues. I mean, a true giant in baseball. So rest in peace, Frank. Seemed like a good dude, too. I think he played with the Orioles and the Reds, and he was fearsome. I remember my dad, when he was teaching me to hit when I was young, he'd always bring up Frank Robinson and saying how he's, out of all the guys, he's not afraid of the ball at all. He attacks the baseball. And then I heard a pitcher echo what my dad said a couple of years later. He was a fearsome dude and first ballot Hall of Famer, I think. Before steroids, 586 Gomers. That's pretty goddamn good. So, not to mention all the other accolades. So, what is going on? What else? I got a split tonight, I think. I don't know. I had a 9 o'clock flight to Boca Raton tonight out of White Plains, which, again, it's 20 minutes from my house. Couldn't be easier, right? Oh, this is fucking, don't have to drive to LaGuardia, Kennedy. This is, JetBlue sends me a thing a couple hours ago. No, it's delayed till midnight, which means it's not going to fucking happen. So I will start hitchhiking right after the show, about 7:05. If anybody sees Ben 95 South, you're a fan, pick me up. If not, well, fucking, you can debate me all the way down. What is going on in the world of politics? Oh, our little girl, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC they call her. And, oh my God, what in Christ's creation? Holy shit, can you see? What? I could be fucking working at a zoo cleaning the lion's cage. I'd have cleaner glasses. What the fuck? Anyways, Cortez, what was I talking about? Yeah, she debuted her Green New Deal, GND, and it's just everybody's laughing at it and shit. It's tough to be all for the green shit, as well as I do. Guys, Kermit the Frog. Ryan. Nothing?
Not that easy.
We're off to a rip-roaring start in there.
Seems you blend in with so many other
idiots on the
things.
left. So many morons. So this morning she released an overview of her Green New Deal, which threatens a massive transformation of our society. You know what she should be doing?
Make me a sandwich. Make me a fucking sandwich.
Oh, that's not fair. Here's some of the details, and hold your gut, because you're going to laugh and shit and piss. Rebuild every single building in the United States. Took me a month to get this together, this studio. So rebuild every building in the U.S. Not too expensive. Upgrade or replace every building in the United States for state-of-the-art energy efficiency. Oh, my God.
You're fucking crazy.
Will end all traditional forms of energy in the next 10 years. 10 years. The Green New Deal is a 10-year plan to mobilize every aspect of American society at a scale not seen since World War II. You know why? We haven't seen it since World. It's not possible in 10 years, you titless wonder, to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions. She plans to ban nuclear energy within 10 years if possible. It's unclear if we'll be able to decommission every nuclear plant within 10 years, but the plan is to transition off of nuclear and all fossil fuels as soon as possible. Build trains, this is the one that got me, across oceans. I'll repeat that. Build trains across oceans and end all air travel. So if this was in place right now, tonight I'd be going to Boca on, Amtrak with a lot, across the oceans. What? Jesus Christ! It's probably good news for Amtrak. Instead of when an Amtrak train derails and you hit a schoolhouse or a fucking oil truck, now you can all drown peacefully next to Joe Biden. Build out high-speed rail at a scale where air travel stops becoming necessary. I actually feel bad for her.
Shut up! Shut up!
Don't get me wrong. I appreciate people who think outside their box. I mean, a box. But this is... even people are snickering on the left. She's like a little kid that... She has big dreams, but this is so typical. She's still filled with that college education. She hasn't done anything in her life. She's so young. Not her fault. But knows really nothing. Don't invest in new technology of carbon capture and storage. Just plant trees instead. Why didn't I? I'd like to plant a tree, but because of people like you and your party, it takes about a year and a half if I want to plant a tree after filling out the permits here in Westchester County. And by the way, do you know this country has more trees in it than when Christopher Columbus fucking landed here? That's a fact you can look up. She says, we believe the right way to capture carbon is in a Hellman's glass. And then, what? No. Is to plant trees, restore our natural ecosystems. CCUS technology, that's where they capture CO2 and out of the sky, and they use it for other means. To date has not been proven effective. Mandate all new jobs be unionized, because she's a good little corporate socialist / Marxist communist. Make sure everybody gets overpaid, is what she said. Ensure that all G&D jobs are union jobs that pay prevailing wages and hire local. Well, how are you going to hire local when you want people pouring in from all over the world? Is local now considered Nicaragua and Guatemala? May include a carbon tax. We're not ruling a carbon tax out, but a carbon tax would be a tiny part of a Green New Deal. May include a cap and trade. Cap and trade may be a tiny part of the larger Green New Deal plan. If you guys forget what cap and trade is, I remembered it because I belly laughed. Again, it's to soak the fucking American taxpayers with countries like China and India still pouring pollution. They have no standards, and we would end up splitting the bill. Here's a little nerd explaining what cap and trade is.
So, cap and trade, in its simplest form, basically the government says to all of the companies in the country, we can only have this much of a certain pollutant. Well, that's the cap. We simply cannot have more than that much pollution. And if we do, we're gonna fine the crap out of all of you. Then the government distributes credits for the release of those pollutants to all of the companies that produce those pollutants. Ideally, they give the companies credits for less pollution than they're already polluting with, so then the companies either have to reduce their pollution or buy credits from someone else. If the company is able to reduce its pollution below its current credit level, then it can sell or trade away those credits to companies that are having a harder time. So basically, the government creates an artificial economic market in pollution. So then the amount of money that the companies are willing to spend decreasing their pollution is directly proportional to the amount of money it would cost them to buy the credits if they weren't able to reduce their pollution.
All right. Are those companies, is that international? I mean, cap and trade, that'd be a global thing, I'm guessing, right? It can't just be. When you get China and India and third world shitholes polluting twice as much as us, are they involved?
I would think they'd have to be because pollution is kind of universal.
Yeah, I agree. Do you really think China's going to play fair? We see how they play now with their money and fuck us in the ass every way. But I'm sure they'll be glad to. Oh, my God, what a live wet dream. Credits. What is this, a fucking junior college? How about this? How much will this whole plan cost? No estimate of the total cost of implementing the GND as offered by Ocasio-Cortez because she does math at a fourth grade level, like most dinks on the left. However, Ocasio-Cortez admits even if every billionaire, this is her quote, and company came together and were willing to pour all the resources at their disposal into the investment, the aggregate value of the investments they could make would not be sufficient. Ooh, keep enticing me. She does not provide one estimate that the cost to repair and upgrade infrastructure, U.S. infrastructure, alone will cost $4.6 trillion at a minimum. And again, we're operating, already at a deficit of I don't know what the fuck. How will it be paid for? She said she's going to work every street corner in Yonkers for the next 200 years. And all of her little hoary friends. So I'm in for that. Just film it. Ocasio-Cortez doesn't provide insight how the trillions of dollars in spending will be paid for other than claiming the Federal Reserve can extend credit. Aren't we trying to get rid of the Federal Reserve? The Federal Reserve can extend credit to power these projects and investments, and new public banks can be created to extend credit. She's getting all wordy.
Don't give me that smart alecky shit.
Yes, exactly. I'm sorry. I do appreciate her optimism. I don't know why I can hear Jason like he's in my... That's all right. Jason's on the phones today, and Ryan's working the board. That's why the first clip was a fucking 30 seconds late, but he's all right. What?
I need to ask you about your punchlines before the show.
I
wasn't ready. I had the green. I had
no,
the
no,
cap and trade ready.
but there's no punchline there. There's no punchline. No, you got to list. There was what the Kermit the Frog thing.
I had the cap and trade ready for the Green Deal.
Why not the Kermit thing?
Not the Green Frog. I didn't.
No, that's why I give you guys the show, all the notes and the. That's all right. You're doing all right for a kid that's severely retarded and who likes boys, girls, and everything in between. You're doing all right. I'll keep you. Anyways, Ocasio-Cortez says the question isn't how we'll pay for it, but what we will do with our new shared prosperity. How about spending it on killing people like you? Can you imagine? Get rid of airplanes. One of the greatest achievements of mankind. But let's scratch that for an Amtrak train going over the Atlantic. We can't leave. Your train's going to be late because we have choppy waters. That's a long track to fucking build, isn't it? I'm not saying we put a man on the moon if anybody could do it, but I mean even Pelosi's fucking giggling about this. So you know what I mean? I'll prove that with a couple more stories. 833-599-6425. How about this? Pelosi's so serious about it that AOC, that's Cortez, said Pelosi she's not even on that select committee. They put a committee together to work on this. She didn't even include the little lefty. But of course, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, being the good soldier that she is on the left, said Pelosi invited her to serve on the select committee on the climate crisis, but she opted against it because she had a yoga class and her ass felt loose. No, she said because she's already on an oversight and reform subcommittee on the environment. she did, in fact, invite me to be on the committee, the New York Democrat said. So I don't think this is a snub. You don't? It's your plan, for Christ's sake. This is such a watershed moment, no pun intended. Ocasio-Cortez said, expressing excitement about congressional efforts to tackle climate change. She says, I'm so excited you could cut diamond with my nipples right now. And I said, what? It is non-binding resolution, non-binding is the keyword, that defines the climate change problem. I'm talking about the Green New Deal, and outlines the scope of potential solutions, not a bill to change law, she acknowledged. So it's pretty benign is what it is. Pelosi welcomed the introduction of the resolution Thursday, but told reporters in her weekly press conference she had not read it yet. Here's Pelosi talking about it.
As we go forward.
To follow up, is the Green New Deal proposal a useful baseline?
I haven't, quite frankly, I haven't seen it, but I do know that it's enthusiastic, and we welcome all the enthusiasms that are out there.
I really don't know much about it because I know deep down inside I'm an adult. She's a kid. This shit won't happen in 1,000 years. I'll be dead in a couple weeks, so it doesn't matter to me. But a lot of enthusiasm, and that's what takes. To get a project off the ground of this magnitude, you got to be excited about it. Pelosi announced the plan to form the Select Committee last November on the same day that the newly elected Ocasio-Cortez and other progressives protested outside the leader's personal office in Cannon in an early effort to push for the Green New Deal. Remember that when they were outside protesting outside her office? That's when we were first introduced to AOC. Cortez had wanted the Select Committee to be given legislative and subpoena powers, but it was not. The panel is simply exploratory and will be offering solutions to standing committees with jurisdiction to actually draft any legislation that is needed. Can you see how government works? Can you just from that paragraph, the bureaucratic fucking nightmare? We will offer to other committees that have jurisdiction. They'll mull it over. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's admit it, you got snubbed. Pelosi, I haven't read it yet because I'm too busy hating Donald Trump and trying to stop this wall that we need so badly, and I have people climbing on my lawn with illegal aliens to prove I'm a hypocrite when it comes to the wall, and I stepped in human feces and on 2 needles. No, they were not highlighters. Right in front of my doorstep. So I'm a little busy, and if climate change doesn't kill us first, I think Hep C will. If you're from my part of town, again, I like Cortez, but a little idealistic. And our buddy Jake in Utah. Jake, are you excited about the Green New Deal? I mean, you should be. It's gonna change the world. You can take a train over the ocean.
I heard you talking about the New Deal. I had to call in.
Yes.
Is she calling herself AOC like FDR? Because she knows that didn't work, right?
Next thing she's gonna do is put herself in a wheelchair. Or maybe I'll do it for her.
Ooh. I have an idea. Let's build a raised monorail system across the Mexican border, raised like a wall.
You know what? That's actually, I'm actually nervous you said that in public. They're gonna jump all over that.
Oh shit!
A train.
Well, you know what?
A train compared to a caravan. I mean, you can't. That would fucking be brilliant.
Yeah, but we could put it on top of a wall.
Why on top of a wall?
Because then we can make the Democrats finally approve the fucking funding.
What a nightmare. Imagine, Jake, they want to do this in 10 years. It sounds like they couldn't do it in 500 years. Just the way, legislation moves so slowly. I haven't...
You know that they're trying to limit bovine farts. That does mean most of the Democrats are going to shut up, right?
Yes, any hot wind or farts, definitely they'll have to put a cork in Hillary's ass, and Stacey Abrams, and Whitey hater Kamala Harris. So no pig farting. You are correct. What else is in there, Jake? I should know about.
Oh, a lot.
Okay.
Let's see.
No, I don't want you to go through it. I thought you might have it at the top of your head, but all right, buddy. Good call. And
That was just one that caught my eye.
no, that I know. I saw that in the paper too. Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for calling. Guys, I believe in climate change too, but like I said before, don't get, as far as the urgency and cap it and carbon taxes and all that shit, that's all it is. And, Al Gore gave a speech saying the city of Miami would be underwater in 10 years. He said that like 15 years ago. So stop with your jerking us off. And again, it's about soaking the taxpayer, the American taxpayer, for something that's going to affect the whole globe. That's what happens when you're the richest country in the planet. They all come after you. 833-599-NICK is the phone number. Speaking of Pelosi, I can't get away from her. By the way, I got more Blackface news. What's the title of the show?
Is Cortez Cuckoo for climate change?
Oh, that's cute, fellas. Not bad. We talked about this woman, Laura Loomer. She's a real hellraiser, a real shit stirrer, a real firebrand on the right, and she likes to call out the left for their hypocrisy. She gets out there and she does it. Not like me in a cushy desk job, but we talked about. We have a picture of. Can you pull up a pic? I know you had one yesterday. If you can find it. Anyways, she. A group of activists, including multiple alleged illegal aliens, climbed the wall surrounding. This happened a little while ago. The house of Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, and California's rep, while noting that Pelosi has such a wall while being against a wall along the United States border with Mexico. I love when we actually get to view. Visuals accompany the hypocrisy of people like Nancy Pelosi. The group said 3 illegal aliens from Guatemala and Mexico were among them, and I wonder why my hedges weren't trimmed last week. What? Gilligan. The men described as immigrants said they were happy to be on Pelosi's property, but spoke little throughout the video. We need to set up sanctuary here because Nancy is a very, very rich Democrat. She believes that everyone is welcome here and that asylum is a human right, said Laura Loomer, a firebrand who frequently confronts Democratic figures. They are setting up sanctuary, another member of the group said. A number of cities and states across the nation, you guys know this, have declared so-called sanctuary status, meaning law enforcement officials there cannot work with ICE or other federal agencies when illegal aliens allegedly commit crimes. Just what that does is increase crime. You don't think they know that? They might not be able to speak Spanish, but they can read English. The system often leads to alleged criminals going free until their court date, and then they never show up at a court date, as opposed to being held in jail on ICE detainers. There's no other country in the goddamn planet that treats this so silly. Ooh, Nick, the strong language with silly. ICE places holds on people here illegally after they allegedly commit crimes and will deport them when the charges are dropped or after a sentence is served. I'm going to show you a clip in a second of her confronting the cop showed up when they were on the lawn. She says, we're in Northern California. This is one of Pelosi's mansions. What you see behind me is a group of people with Laura Loomer. They're illegal immigrants. They jumped over the small wall. They're setting up sanctuary, said another group leader. For anyone who's seeking sanctuary, right here is a prime location. You can come right here, according to Nancy Pelosi and the rest of the Democrats. Later, the group hung the pictures of people murdered by illegal immigrants from the tent, which stood in Pelosi's vast lawn. Loomer led the group as they walked on Pelosi's driveway to her house. They chanted, Nancy, Nancy, and they walked up and tried to get in. Her doors were locked, naturally, her being the lying whore that she is. Police officers eventually arrived on the scene. This is what happened.
My partner, Maureen Patterson.
How's it going? Good, how are you? We are doing great. We're having a fiesta here because Nancy Pelosi said that everyone's welcome here because this is Sanctuary State, right? California?
Well, this is private property, so...
I'm confused. I thought that
He's
California
confused.
is a sanctuary state.
I thought San Francisco was a sanctuary city.
I don't know. I thought Nancy Pelosi Who's the Speaker of the House said
Can we
that
get
this is
ID
sanctuary
from
state?
everybody that's here, since you guys are on?
Yeah, let me go back to
we
Mexico.
don't need that in
and get it.
California.
I thought we didn't need that in California because Gavin Newsom said we didn't need driver's licenses because it's like a form of profiling.
Well,
I'm just
we
really
do.
confused.
You're on private property, so you're trespassing.
I'm really confused. Nancy said everyone was welcome here.
That's right.
Do you know who Nancy Pelosi is?
Yes, sir.
So Nancy Pelosi said that
Angry
asylum
lesbian.
is a human right.
Just because you're
You guys, I'm really confused because Nancy Pelosi said asylum's a human right, but now they're saying I'm trespassing, and Nancy said everyone is welcome here. Like if you know her nephew Gavin Newsom, he said everyone's welcome here.
Real quick, can I get your driver's
Basically, you're
license?
trespassing. You need to see some ID. And
What's trespassing? I reject those facts.
It's being on private property.
I reject those facts.
I didn't know there was private property in
I didn't know there was.
California.
What's private property? Is that kind of like crossing over the border?
I like your.
But what happens if you cross over the border? Is that trespassing?
I do.
What the hell's that?
we just need
I didn't think.
I
Pause.
was my ID, but
What was that? Oh, he's opening a. All this talk of green cards and ID is getting this Hispanic fella they're thirsty. Go ahead.
I'm just really confused because Nancy and her
Yeah, she
nephew
said we
Gavin
can
told me
come
that I told
though.
them-
So
Wait,
Nancy gave us authorization.
give
She
us a
said,
It's a great Coke commercial. I love it. I love when that fucking those wet dreams, those idea everybody's welcome and everybody should get a driver's license, and I love when the rubber hits the road, as they say, when these liberal ideas are great until you put them into actual action in the real world, and then they fucking wilt like a quarter pounder with cheese under a fucking lamp for 11 hours. I love that she's out there ball busting, and even the cops were smirking a little bit. So 2 of the 3 illegals there didn't have identification, so they were temporarily detained by the police. Officers eventually chose to give them a ticket and remove the whole group from the property. Luma was not arrested or given a ticket because she made too many good points. She was given the keys to the back door of Pelosi's house. She was left off with a warning for trespassing, for scaling the wall, and trying the doors on the house. I love when people call people out on their horseshit. Seriously, if you listen to Pelosi, those doors should be wide open. Anybody should be welcome. I mean, who's going to break in? The odds are in California, it's going to be an illegal. Nick, how can you say that? I just did. I watched prison specials on TV, and I noticed a lot of black and brown people on lockup. Look at him enjoying a nice icy Coke as the law enforcement decide his fate. Good for him. And they're hard-working dudes. These are a couple of good ones. But
I like his hat.
What does it say? One way? Jeez. What is that
I
even?
was thinking it was one way, Jesus.
Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is one way, Jesus. I always thought religion was a two-way street. I really did. One way, Jesus. I don't know what that means, but I'll tell you one thing. You might see him in the bullpen for the Angels in a couple months. I'm not talking about, the bullpen at the... You get my drift. So it's good to see her called on her horseshit. Do you understand, back to the Green New Deal, do you understand how this is a blessing for Trump and Republicans? And do you understand? Because it's so silly, even the moderates and the Dem Party can't defend how fucking silly it is. And even Pelosi knows how silly it is, but she has to play along. The best she could do goes, there's a lot of enthusiasm for stuff like, enthusiasm is good. It makes them look fucking crazy. We have the strongest economy in the history of this country right now, which is saying something. And Trump cut taxes. They're going to redo all that shit. They're going to throw back all the regulations. You got raise your fucking tax and try crazy shit like this. So in the year 2029, you won't have any planes. If it worked, you know you're gonna. But I'm just saying, this is what they're running on. Republicans, if you can't fucking win in 2020, this is beautiful. This is a gift from God. We have a little teenage girl heading up the party. Oh, my aching stem. Blackface is in the news again, and I'll do the Jemele Hill story. She's got a black face, but this isn't a black face story per se. I got a couple of them after. Virginia, back in it again. Another guy, another politician with blackface. If you look at all the people in Virginia, a lot of them don't have any shoe polish left on this. They're just, it's fucking. But let's get to this hateful little bitch. This, you know who I'm talking about, Jemele Hill, this racist.
You fat, nasty black bitch.
On Tuesday night, this little whitey hater, former ESPN host and current Atlantic writer. The Atlantic is a publication, couldn't get any more far left, and she writes for it. But, you know, let's tweeted an assassination reference during President Trump's State of the Union address. On Wednesday, we found out the Secret Service is aware of Hill's tweet and stands by an obligation to investigate all threats related to our protectees. I hate her face. She makes me fucking
nasty black bitch.
While the Secret Service is aware of the subject's comments, we cannot confirm or comment on the absence or existence of specific investigations. We can say, however, she's a hateful little twat zone, and we're going to bitch slap her. I might have added that for emphasis. We can say, however, the Secret Service investigates all threats related to our protectees, even when they're black females who can do anything in this country and not be called on it. I added that also. The trouble began when Hill responded to remarks from another Twitter user during the State of the Union speech, according to the Examiner. That user had joked that liberal firebrand Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez should have shouted, "Whose man is this?" during Tuesday night's address. That phrase in pop culture, has come to denote a boring person. Yeah, Trump, first of all, Trump's real boring. Trump's a boring person. Even the people that hate him he's so boring that he's increased CNN, MSNBC, and NBC's ratings to the point they're actually in the running in the top 10 for the first time in there. That's how boring he is. It's the one thing you can't say about Trump is that he's fucking boring. Because he's not. There's nothing boring about a white guy who's not afraid to say anything, and who's a billionaire, doesn't even need the fucking job, and speaks honestly about race. So, and the other fact is, you're watching the State of the Union, you dumb twat. I'm talking about the person that was tweeting. So how boring was it? You're hanging on his every word. Don't be a cheese eater. I love cheese. I don't know why I keep saying that. So that's what that means. Whose man's is this? Whose man's is this? That phrase in pop culture, again, denotes a boring person. Nah, and this is what's her name responding, little hateful Jemele Hill. Nah, she gotta yell, "Get your hand out my pocket." Oh, I get it, you're black. Yeah. Do you ever leave it alone? That's Atlantic ghetto talk on Twitter. Those words were shouted by someone. Oh, I'm sorry. Those words were shouted by someone in the audience of. It gets better. So Jemele Hill said that's what she was responding to this tweet by saying that get your hand out my pocket. Those words. Who else shouted those words? Originally, those words are shouted by someone in the audience of Manhattan's Audubon Ballroom when Malcolm X was giving his final address. While his security detail was distracted by the commotion when somebody yelled at, the divisive figure was shot by 3 members of the Nation of Islam. You know, that peaceful religion. So he was shot 3 times during that speech. That sounded like 6. While his security was distracted. So what Jemele Hill was implying, you see what she was implying? If somebody yelled at, and then security would go over and see what the command, and then somebody would shoot Trump. That's what the hateful little black bitch, racist little hoe that she is from Atlanta was implying. Can you imagine, I don't know, Trey Wingo, pick a white guy that works for ESPN, saying the same thing while Obama, you know, we ought to get your hand in my pocket, yo. She'll get another chance. She gets 11 chances because she has a vag and she's brown. Hill has since apologized for the tweet. Oh, has she? The incident is eerily reminiscent of the exchange that landed Hill in hot water in October of 2017. In that case as well, Hill was responding to a Twitter user. Specifically, she was answering questions about how fans could protest the Dallas Cowboys and owner Jerry Jones for Jones' statement claiming that he would take action against any player who disrespected the flag or the anthem. Hill told Cowboy fans they could most impact the franchise by going after the team's advertisers. ESPN suspended the little hoe for 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. Look at her. She looks like a young Oprah. Nick, that's racist. No, it is not. I'm distinguishing 2 black people out of the 11 million that look alike, which proves Doesn't she look a little like Oprah there? It's not the first time Hill has appeared in headlines alongside Trump. In September 2017, she tweeted President Trump was a white supremacist. That's fine, and I think you're a dirty little black little ho, dirty little ho, ho, ho. Imagine this is who Disney hires. Well, they hired 833-599-6425. So that's the only story that involves a blackface where a black person is actually behind the blackface. This show has more black faces than Evening at the Apollo in fucking 1997. You guys know I did that show? I told you that story, right? Somewhere that tape exists. My manager, Barry Katz, at the time, was probably scared of my politics. Yeah, why don't you do Evening at the Apollo? They want you. This is when Sinbad hosted. I came out. I've told this story before. I came out and I said, man, I feel whiter than Debbie Boone. Debbie Boone, you know. You light up my life. You give me hope to carry on. You light up my day. She was Pat Boone's daughter. She's the whitest bride alive with a faggy white song that went triple platinum or some shit. I come out thinking that's going to get a laugh. I go, yeah, I feel whiter than Debbie Boone. I might as well have came out with a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken on my head and juggling watermelon. They just stared at me, and I went, ooh. And then I went into my ZZ Top bit because, you know, that's a smart move in front of a black audience. And all of a sudden this fat black broad got up, probably Jamele's grandmother, with those big fucking grits arms, and she started doing this. I'm like, oh, I'm in deep shit now. Told a couple more jokes, and then I heard, and here come the guy with the Sandman would chase you off with a broom. That's really his job, by the way. And that's what most rappers would be doing if they weren't in America. Yes, Jason.
I thought that sound meant fire hose.
You thought what?
I thought that sound meant fire hose.
What? That would have been a lot funnier. You got a white guy bombing in front of a black audience, and they turn a fire hose on me like the fucking or German Shepherd. That actually would have been way funnier, much more controversial. I don't even know how I got on this. Oh, blackface. Yes, black stories. We almost went 5 minutes on the show this week without talking about blackface. Ryan, how you doing? You look like you're lost in space there.
Oh, no, I'm doing fantastic, Nick.
Space is good this time of year.
Here we go. Virginia, I told you, is for infanticide lovers. And how many blackface stories have I done? How many people have done this? It's...
Life was like a box of chocolates.
Tommy Normant. Who's that? He's another Virginia politician caught up in blackface scandal. Oh, he's a Republican. Even the person who wrote the article, Ruth Brown. Can I make it up? The planked on the paper is black and white. There's a picture. I don't know if you guys... Did that come with the article? It's him holding a Confederate flag. Well, not him, but it was in the yearbook anyways. Republican Majority Leader of Virginia's State Senate was the managing editor of a college yearbook featuring photos, so it's not really him, but he was the editor, of people in blackface alongside other racist snapshots and slurs, according to a new report. Can I just say something? Hey, wait a minute. Is that Bill Clinton on the left? That looks like a young Bill Clinton. Doesn't it? Why can I hear you guys today? Yeah. No? Are you just being
Yeah,
loud?
nothing's on. I think we're just being loud today.
All right, lower it. Shut your white faces in there. Look at that. Can I just say something? I'm not defending blackface, but can we at least admit this much? Back in, this is in the 60s, and even into the fucking 80s, we weren't as uptight, hypersensitive, and again, I'm not defending it, but I'm just saying. It was like bell bottoms. They were offensive. Everybody fucking knew it, but black people would probably laugh it off back then, going, look at these fucking idiots. But now it's harmful. You can destroy somebody's mentality if they just see it, and I'm again not defending it. We had that clip of Howard Stern with Robin, that blackface thing. I didn't put it in this thing, but that might get you fucking dander up. But the point being, yes, we are hypersensitive now, and the left uses it as a crutch to destroy people's lives and shit. I mean, it's more about how I think we're digressing as far as race. And can I ask another question? Are there any black people who did anything offensive about white people? I don't care if it's... Oh, that's right. Every day we have evidence of them. Viral videos of them beating people up at Arby's and McDonald's. But the point being, they're in such a mess right now. Virginia. State Senate Tommy Norman oversaw the Virginia Military Institute, VMI, played football against them. The name of the fucking book was The Bomb Yearbook in 1968. The same year the college first allowed black students to enroll. So they were just being relevant, according to the Virginia Pilot. The yearbook includes several photos of people in blackface, including one at a costume party, and another of two men in the race's makeup while holding a football, as well as the N-word in a student from Thailand who was referred to as a chink, the paper reports. What else you going to call him in 1968? A Chinese person? A photo of one man is captioned. It says, he was known as the barracks Jew, having his fingers in the finances of the entire Corps, or as Obama would say, corpse.
Get this through your head, you. Get this through your head, you Jew motherfucker, you.
On Saturday, he demanded, this is the guy, Tommy Norman. On Saturday, he had demanded Northam resign, the governor, after it was revealed that the governor's page in 1984 Eastern Virginia Medical School yearbook featured a photo of a man wearing blackface next to a KK guy, while in his own 1981 VMI yearbook listed his nickname as Coon Man. So this guy was Coon Man too? Am I reading that right? Northam was referred as Coon Man. And it says, while his own 1981 VMI, so he was Coon Man. So that's out of the bag, Virginia. Apparently you're all coon men down there. This is fucking priceless. And again, I'm serious when I look at you straight-faced, not black-faced, straight-faced. Is it really that it was just so overrun with racism? Or was it a different time and it was sort of acceptable? Can you guys pull up? I know I didn't put it in, but remember we played Howard Stern with Robin and blackface? Do you still have that somewhere hanging around? No biggie if you don't, but because that was the most offensive one. We'd play this clip of Howard Stern and Robin Quivers, and my point being how Howard still had a job after this just makes my point. It was a different time. I'm not defending it, but I still don't buy that it's so harmful, and oh my God, the hurt and the pain. You know, there's black people going, we told you these white motherfuckers is racist. Something. Anyways.
We got Howard Stern.
Here's the, this is Howard Stern, Robin Quivers. And keep this in mind. Robin, this is what made Howard famous. I'd love to know who he blew at NBC Radio at the time, that he's only gotten to be a trillionaire after this. But this is a little offensive.
9 inches.
Are Hollywood's oddest couple, Ted Danson and Whoopi Goldberg, via satellite transmission. Well, how are you doing there, Missy Robin Quiver? You know, Robin, Whoopi is a whole lot prettier after you drunk a couple of bottles of this here malt liquor.
Drink on, honey.
With every sip, you get better and better, baby. Yo, snatch smell like a kingfish.
Oh, I didn't write that.
Ted, I must say that I can't believe you're still in blackface after the Friars Roast controversy.
Oh, hush up. I hate blackface. I just can't get this shit off. Besides, Whoopi done wrote everything I'm gonna say here tonight, so it's all right. Ain't that right, you smelly nigga?
I didn't write that.
Well, you is a smelly nigga. I got some more jokes for your New Year's Eve.
That's
party.
horrible.
You're not tired of this.
That's horrible.
Don't be racially offended, because Whoopi done wrote them for me, okay? Here we go.
Go ahead.
Black hole.
Black hole.
You're gonna love this. Hey, look at that. What do I loves most about the Whoopi? Yeah.
That sure has great timing.
Hey, Robin, what does you call a black rocket scientist?
I don't know,
A
Ted.
nigga. Whoopi wrote it. Whoopi wrote it. Hey, did you happen to notice this?
No, what
this
is
here
that?
is my mother, Mama Dancing. Why, she done working blackface, too.
She must be very proud.
Yeah.
Now I know you really love me, Ted. You the man.
I tell you, you the man. What done happened to Sherman's career? It's really over the end. I want you to give us a kiss, you smelly coghead coon. I love
May
you.
I say something here?
Oh my God.
Oh, you can say whatever you want, you smelly nigga.
Oh my.
Whoopi wrote that.
That's it, Ted. You didn't know I was going to say that. Whoopi had no chance to write it. I don't accept that kind of language. You can call
Me
her
either.
whatever you want, but you don't talk to me that way or I'll leave.
Well, don't let the door hit you on your big black ass, mama, on the way out of here. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Now, Whoopi, you is a filthy nigga.
I didn't write that.
Well, you is a smelly nigga, so what's the difference?
Look, you two,
Yeah.
don't you think you're going to ruin your career this way?
No, no, no. What's wrong with you? This here routine is showing people that we is not afraid to confront our racial stereotypes. Looky here. We is a nation of racists, and we must break through that barrier that we done constructed for ourselves. Can't you see that? Can't you see that, you little rib breath mama? What
All
did
right,
it, baby?
all right.
Oh,
Ted, this whole thing.
All right. Okay. That really hurt Howard's career, didn't it? What did he earn after that? So do you see my point? I don't know. It's either that if you're making the corporation so much money to let anything go, or that things were a little, and I'm not, again, come on, that was fucking funny, was it not? But you hear what he said? He kept blaming Whoopi for that. That's how they try to get out of it. But he said this fake social, whatever he said, barrier, a construct, that we can't joke about shit like that. That part is true. Again, in a perfect world, we could say any of that shit, and black people could say anything, which they can, pretty much say anything they want, and Mexicans, and again, that's my little comedian world. But the point is, Howard Stern, it didn't hurt him, it helped him. So, people are watching this right now, this is Patreon night, but people on the left will go, well, that's the point that we're evolving. No, we're regressing. That's the whole point of Tough Crowd. And me and Patrice and shit, and we always had black and white people, Puerto Rican, everything, come up to go, we love that you can be that honest about race. I mean, All in the Family, you couldn't do it today. How about that show, The Neighborhood? Is that what it's called, The Neighborhood, with Cedric the Entertainer? It's a sitcom. It's literally it's an excuse. This is on broadcast TV to make fun of white people, white middle class people. That's all the show is. An excuse for black people to make fun of white people. That's all it is. I see the trailers and I want to puke. But that's okay because we have this thing in the back of the head. Well, this is sort of like reparations. They get to say, it's really, that's fine. Just don't throw me into the evil white evil white masculinity, toxic fucking jerk off. That's all I'm asking. But the fact that Howard Stern still has a career, I mean, we just played that. That resurfaces. Like, if that came out on TMZ tonight, does it affect Howard? Or is it all right because he's Jewish? I don't. Oh, I know. Robin Quivers was involved. He had a black foil, which was brilliant on his part. So, I don't know. I thought I made some good points there. Cocaine drip. 833-599-6425. 6425, yeah. Forgot the goddamn. More blackface stuff. Photo of Joy Behar dressed as a beautiful African woman resurfaced. Well, too bad it wasn't. She'd be better off. A long-forgotten video clip from the ABC's The View resurfaced on Wednesday that showed co-host Joy, I call her Joe Behar, trying to explain a Halloween costume from when she was younger. Here it is, the clip.
In the New York Times, they had an op-ed piece in praise of naturally curly hair. They say that it's making a comeback.
When did
Are you
it leave?
excited?
I've always had curly
That
hair.
is
Y'all
a
late.
feminist statement.
Huh?
What do you...
No,
That-
is that you, Joy?
Oh, you know this picture.
Joy, is that you?
Yes.
Joy, that is you?
Yes.
Joy, are you
Wait.
black?
No, I know. I was so cute. Look how cute I was.
Are you my auntie, Joy?
No.
Are you my auntie?
That is me.
My word. What year is this? Circa
I
what?
was 29.
That was
It was a Halloween party. I went as a beautiful African woman.
Oh, yes, you ain't black.
But that's my hair. That's my hair.
That, you can be, yeah, but it is. So the whole point of
why
is
are
that
you
curly
upset with
hair
me
is
now?
coming back. I thought
That is me.
Did you have tanning lotion on,
A
Joy?
little. I had makeup that was a little bit darker than my skin.
Oh.
But that's my actual hair. Though.
I love it, though.
Yeah, of course you love it. Ugh, another one. Let's can her. Let's can her tonight. Jemele Behar. It's not even an African dress. It's just like something an ugly old Italian white woman would wear to a funeral. She looks much better that way. And by that way, I mean 40 years younger. Or whatever the fuck she took it. But let's see if there's any repercussions. She was surprised by a drastically different look. But are you my auntie? It's so hilarious. And she explained it was a Halloween party, and she dressed up like a... Even back then, she was a lib. Oh, I want to be a black woman for Halloween. The video resurfaced as Democrats of Virginia faced the intense scrutiny over their use of blackface decades ago or minutes ago. We can't stop it. I'm not going to read the whole... You know what helped? The governor. And now you got the black lieutenant governor who forced a woman to blow him. So he's in deep shit. Then you get the guy after him. And, this guy's the Republican, the guy fourth in line. So it's, you might think this country is racist.
I like that that's the thing that transcends party lines is blackface.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's going to bring us together. Gucci is in trouble. For what? For blackface. Huh? Gucci pulled a black polo neck sweater from its shops Thursday after it sparked comparisons with racially offensive gollywog and blackface imagery. Here is a picture of the sweater. What the fuck? I mean, if you took the lips away, right? Isn't that? If you took, I don't even know what to say. I would love to see Muslim women wearing these things. You didn't know the red lips might cause a stir. It looks like, you know what it looks like? You look at the red lips and then it's a vagina. Then the actual lips that's a snatch if you look at it sideways. Yeah, flip that thing on its side. Why can I hear you, Jason? I can, faintly, but I can hear you.
I have no idea.
Huh? You must be
The in-ear
talking
mic
too
is
loud.
off, so.
I don't know. I look at that. I want to get one of those, actually, for my mom. I want her to go to a black church and
run through a motherfucker face.
I don't even know, baklava jumper? Is that the name? Balaclava jumper. That's the name of it. Can be pulled up to the eyes with the mouth visible through large red lips. I want you to go into a Popeye's Chicken in, uptown New York City at about 190 in Lenox with that sweater on. See what happens. Happy Black History Month, y'all, one African-American fashionista tweeted ironically, with others pointing out the resemblance to Gollywog. I don't know what the fuck that is. I was too lazy to look it up. It is the third Italian brand. Oh, that explains it. Us Skindaloons aren't too sensitive because we have black blood in us because, we were raped somewhere back in Sicily. It is the third Italian brand to be hit in recent months by race rows. After Prada was forced to pull a line of accessories in December, we did that story. Oh, you can take it down, knives, fellas. Because I might want to buy one if I look at it any longer. That actually would be a good sweater to wear, like when the football plays on a freezing day. You pull it up. Can you imagine Brady coming into the line of scrimmage with a Omaha 52's the Ryan, you leaning in? Want to say something?
It sort of does look like a vagina when you flip it over.
How would you know? Probably looks like a Cub Scout's asshole to you. You're going to go out and buy one tonight. After a good pounding. I think that was a very good... Unbelievable. I'm going to whack it to that later on. But it's the third Italian brand. Yes, we are a little insensitive, us Italians, apparently, to be hit in recent months and blah, blah, blah. Dolce & Gabbana are reeling from a boycott in China after a calamitous advertising campaign of a Chinese woman struggling to eat spaghetti and pizza with chopsticks was decried as racist. First of all, how dare you Chinese call anybody racist? Spend 5 minutes in New York City and see how Asians get along with black people. I mean, they seem to have a real animosity. It's probably because they're getting robbed. The convenience stores are robbed every 5 minutes. But take a look at this commercial that Dolce & Gabbana tried to get away with in China.
A Chinese woman attempts to eat pizza with a pair of chopsticks.
So?
While a male voiceover gives her directions. This clip, posted on Dolce & Gabbana's social media accounts, sparked fury in China.
She's cute. Why? Bravissimo. Mangia. Mangia. What's offensive is that the Chinese gave us chopsticks. It's a fucking practical joke. How the fuck did the chopsticks ever? I went to Hong Kong to do comedy, and this is true. We went to lunch, and I'll never forget this. We went to lunch, and these like blue-collar Chinese guys came in, like a whole table of them. Me and John Bush and the other comedians are trying to eat with chopsticks, when in Rome. We look over, and those fuckers are filling their face with forks and looking at us like we were retarded. I might try to eat pizza with chopsticks. That way I might only have one slice because it'll take 3.5 hours. And by that time, Ocasio-Cortez's trains will be run. Chopsticks were a practical joke on the world, and we fell for it. Try picking up a fucking 3-pound pork loin with your fucking sticks. The label's co-founder, Stefano Gabbana, said, "Fuck those dirty, slanty-eyed bitches." No, he didn't. He appeared to add fuel to the fire with a private Instagram exchange. Well, I wasn't far off. He used a smiling turd emoji. That's blackface or brownface to describe the country and referred to China ignorant, dirty, smelling mafia. They later found both his pinky fingers in an order of pork fried rice. The Gucci polo neck has, however, sparked far less fury online, with some coming to the defense of its flamboyant designer, Alessandro Michele, known for his playful kitschy creations. Kitschy. Kitschy. However, the brand was quick to pull the jumper, issuing a statement within hours of the first post questioning it. Here's where, I'm guessing he's gay. He designs clothes. He's a big girl. And here's where they cave in. And you don't have to be gay to cave in, but I'm just saying there's no way he was going to stand up. "We deeply apologize for the offense caused by the wool baklava jumper. We confirm that the item has been immediately removed from our online store and all physical stores." We are fully, here's where they lay it on thick and It's almost to the point where you think they're going, let's really lay it on so they know we really don't believe this. We are fully committed to increasing the diversity throughout our organization and to turning this incident, listen, into a powerful learning moment, that's the Obama term, for the Gucci team and beyond, the brand fucking added.
Problem.
God.
You're the fucking problem. You fucking Dr. White, onking jamrag, ucking spunk bubble. I'm telling you, H, you keep looking at me, I'm going to put you in the fucking ground. I promise you. Not this time.
Not this time, you rat bastard. Is that the end of the race stuff? No, it isn't, because that's what the world talks about. I pull headlines from all websites. I'm so embarrassed to be an American, not because we're a racist nation, but because we're so guilty about it. It's the way the world evolved. But only us white people today in America are getting, I'll remind you again, the West didn't invent slavery, but they abolished it. You don't hear that mentioned in your history books, you little kids. Cocaine. Anyhow, Liam Neeson isn't a racist because he and Viola Davis made out on screen. Who said that? I don't know if you guys follow this story. You will now. Amid the fallout over Liam Neeson's shocking story about once wanting to murder a random black person, actress Michelle Rodriguez...
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert!
...is supporting her co-star with one weird argument. But it makes sense because she's a brown and she's a woman and she's in Hollywood and she has to come to defense of Liam Neeson. She won't get any fucking backlash, will she? Rodriguez on Wednesday said that the controversy over the actor's comments is fucking bullshit. Boy, these little lefty whores have filthy mouths. I'd like to fill them with my bowls. And that he is not a racist. As evidence, she pointed the opening scene of Widows, in which Neeson passionately kisses Viola Davis. His tongue was so far down, this is her saying, down Viola Davis's throat, she said, you can't call him a racist ever. Racists don't make out with the race that they hate, in the special way he does with his tongue. Really? So let's follow that logic. I'll ask you one question, Miss Rodriguez. That means Thomas Jefferson isn't a racist, is he? Not only did he stuck his dick in his slaves. Is there a different rule for tongues? I'm just questioning you on your logic. Are the founding fathers who are labeled racist every day by left-wingers in history books and on college campus, is Thomas Jefferson a racist? He stuck his dick in many a black woman. He wouldn't do that to a race that he hated. Why am I going after Liam Neeson? I don't know. I actually like him. I heard he's hung like a Grecian bull, too.
I went to high school with his son.
Did you? Did his son have a big dick?
I don't know, but I used to see Liam Neeson at the volleyball games.
Did you? Was he in tight shorts going, go, Billy, go?
He did say, go, Billy, go.
Is the kid's name? No, it's Willem. But he's like porn fucking big. If I ever meet the guy at a urinal at some eatery here in Westchester, I'll say, check this out. And then he'll fall down laughing. Neeson had sparked controversy earlier this week when he revealed in an interview that decades ago, when a friend of his told him she was raped and identified the perpetrator as a black man, he was so angry he went out with a weapon hoping a random black person would pick a fight with him so he could murder them. He realized then he could maybe hurt his career and his dreams of going to Hollywood. No, Neeson said he was shocked by his own behavior. And raised this story to connect with the themes of his new film, Cold Pursuit. Now we get to the real. It's all about publicity for the new film. Probably even fucking made it up, maybe. Or somebody made it up for him. You know how we have people that write tweets of famous people? I'm sure there's a whole staff now that writes artificial race stories to get you in the news when you knew. Maybe not. He looks like he could be whatever. He appeared the next day on Good Morning America. Oh, I'm sure he got a grilling. And said he is not racist after telling the exact same story a second time. The red carpet premiere of Cold Pursuit was subsequently canceled. See just what pussies. Hollywood. You have cowardice in your DNA. And he will reportedly no longer appear on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert Friday as planned. Is that Stephen's call? Is that Steven's call? That he doesn't want? I'm guessing, right? Wouldn't you want to have him come on, Steven? I mean, it's your show. I'm guessing you had the final say. Maybe not. Maybe the network honcho. But why wouldn't you bring him on and expose him for the races that he... Because you know it's fucking silly. You know it's fucking silly. Yes, you do.
Son of a whore!
Anyways, that's it. I threw away this story about New Jersey and the fucking rain tax. Uncle Junior, we need to touch you before we go.
Guy comes home with a bouquet of flowers for his wife. I guess I'll have to spread my legs now, she says. Why, he asks. Don't you have a vase?
Imagine having to listen to that for 8 years. All right, kids, that is it. I will see you people at the Black Box of Boca Raton tomorrow night and Saturday night. Hope you're in the area. Come on by. Even if you're not, call your friends down there that are in the area. We all know somebody from Florida. We all know somebody who lost a young teenage daughter or sister in Florida. Anyways, that's all I can think of, folks. Go to nickdip.com for my tour information. Thank you so much for another great week. Twinks, not a bad job. Ryan, a little slow on the gun at the beginning, but, he doesn't work the board every day. Don't say anything. Your timing sucks. I'm trying to get off the fucking air. It takes you 11 minutes to reach that mic. It's like working with Ironsides over there. Stephen Hawking, prop him up. Anyways, remember, you think it, I will say it. You're very welcome. See you on Monday, motherfuckers.